When growing up, my family and I traveled to England a couple of times, where besides the dark humor, the Land Rover Defender became dear to me. In January 2016, the last of its kind was built after 68 years of production. And so 2 months later, I went out and bought the used 1999 TD5 for a bargain from today's perspective. For a couple of years, Land Rover gave us hope that there would be a worthy successor. Until in 2020, they stuck the Defender logo on a Discovery-like vehicle, which I would describe as blasphemy. And I guess many more Defender lovers weren't really happy with the new shape of the car. Perhaps also Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who wanted to keep building it, but didn't get permission from Jaguar Land Rover, just to keep the long story short. So he created his own off-roader, which is now known as the Ineos Grenadier. Finally it's on the market, so I headed out to go and test ride one. And of course I couldn't resist to compare it to my old Land Rover Defender. So this morning is a special day. I am taking my 99 Land Rover Defender to go look at the Ineos Grenadier. The most important part is noise cancelling headphones, because this car is super loud. It's always good to dress warm when you sit into a Defender. Diesel, of course. Runs. Pressing the clutch takes raw muscle power like on a tractor, and every gear shift gone smooth describes a piece of art. If you think the audio quality is really bad, then you can imagine how loud it is in this car. I'm on the highway now doing 100 kilometers per hour, and about 120 is possible. Going uphill not, but maybe downhill. And here it is, the long-awaited Ineos Grenadier. So the absolute first impression is that this is a completely different car than a Defender. I'm gonna adjust the seat. That's about it. No electronics in the seat, very nice. Then I have a real key. The ignition, this is the petrol version. Someone else also is going on a test ride with the diesel version. Sound of the car is nice. Here when I'm sitting, I can perfectly see the speed I'm riding. It's actually in my vision. I don't have to look too far to the right, so can't complain about that. I think it's totally sufficient. Step on the brakes. Yeah. So the brake is smooth. You can hardly feel the ABS kicking in. Very nice ABS. Step on the brakes takes quite an effort, and there's no ABS. And it's very quiet in here. I didn't bring my noise cancelling headphones. Don't need. The vision through the narrow windscreen is good, I can see the whole engine hood, even I'm a very small guy, which gives me a good relation to the size of the car. Now I'm switching to the diesel version. Very comfortable to get in here, huh? Step. Same thing. Sound. Almost no difference on the sound, really. I love hand brakes. Step on the gas, not much happens. Takes a long time to pick up speed. But in all the years that I've had it, I only had one speeding ticket of 40 Swiss francs. Accelerate. It's really like a sports car. It doesn't lean at all. And I feel like I'm glued into the seats. Going through tight turns, you can really feel how the car leans out of the turn. The steering is really nice, really smooth and very light. The steering wheel feels very small. I think almost a little smaller than in Defender. For my taste, it could be a little bit bigger. When maneuvering, the steering is takes quite an effort. It's not light to maneuver. Driving off a sidewalk, that's the most off-road that we're going to get here. But the steering is quite heavy, I must say. With one hand, I really have to work it. Steering radius is really big. So sometimes to get around tight turns takes a little bit of maneuvering. Says some warning here. I don't know. Not a lot of buttons here. We are finding a little gravel road. Gravel road with a Ferrari too, so not much to say. From the power and from the sound, I couldn't tell if I'm sitting in a diesel or if it's a gasoline car. Sitting in my Defender, I feel like I'm an adventure, even if I just go to the bakery to get some bread. And with this, it doesn't really feel very adventurous. One of the engineers was still programming these cars, so they have some technical issues that will be solved soon. Petrol version again. No carpets. Easy to clean, huh? Switch her on. Put her in drive. Here we go. And if I'm not wearing my seat belt, I cannot take off. Is that correct? I plug it in and then see what happens. Drive. It says there's some mistake here. this out, close the door. No? Better, huh? Door maybe wasn't closed. Something that already shows me electronics again. Speed her up a little bit on the dirt. Okay, now I have to make sure I don't make it too dirty. Puddle of water. Otherwise he's pissed off, huh? Yeah, some little mud holes, but really splash suspension. The Defender is much stiffer. Now we go through these. Yeah, Defender is much stiffer. And then the footrest. This is of course the left-hand drive. Footrest on the left side. Totally okay. Plenty of space for the feet. Plenty of space for my short legs. And of course, handbrake. More dirt road. Almost wish to drive over the acre here. So this is interesting. I can spray the windshield, but there's no windshield wipers going on, so it's separate. Windshield wiper. Spray, no windshield wiper. You have to put on the windshield wiper. Never seen that in a car. The seats are very comfortable compared to the Defender. Can't compare. Seated position on the Defender, all the way up to the door, tight here. I think it's designed that you lower the window and you put one arm outside and then look outside and you can see the front tire for precision. And also the steering wheel is slightly to the left of the seat. That's very unique. I don't know any other car that has that. Right side, my elbow tends to touch this compartment here. I would wish to have a armrest, equal level armrest on both sides. Because here I really tend to have one arm high up here and the other one is low down, like in my Defender, which makes it kind of uncomfortable, especially on long rides. Having a level armrest on both sides would really do the job. Maybe integrate it into the seat that you can lower them. Roof window can open. Check this. Could be good, huh? So it's really warm in here. I took off a jacket and I released the seat belt. And what's nice, there is no noise. There's only a little red light. I very much appreciate that. And you can also see on the car in front of me that in the turns this car doesn't lean like the Defender does. The Defender really leans out of the turn, which is kind of funny. Going through tight turns, you can really feel how the car leans out of the turn. The steering is really nice, really smooth and very light. Careful, cannot see this man, and now here he appears. So it's quite, the A column is quite big with the snorkel. Without the snorkel it's quite okay. And then reversing, I have mirrors on both sides, square mirrors like on the Defender. Really good to see. This door really takes an effort to close. It doesn't really close if you don't really slam it, but it has sealing on this side and one on this side, so this should be more watertight than the Defender. The door is quite slim, and this is the sound. Proper English weather outside. Car feels at home. And here the opening. Oh, this is heavy, huh? Here the opening is, let's say, I could hold on to this, or what will people do mostly? Hold on to the door again, lean onto the door to get in. So, and then the doors sound a little dull. Just compare how it is to get into the Defender. What you do normally, you can hold on to this, but I normally don't. You know what you do with the Defender? You lean, you hold on to the door. That's why the doors start to hang. And do sit a little higher here, definitely higher than on the Ineos. And the window, of course, to look out to see the giraffes. To get into the back, they have this footrest, but the door comes in the way quite a bit. What can I hold on to? Here's something to hold on to. I guess you tend to hold on to the seat when you get in. My grandmother wouldn't be happy. And then sitting at the back, it's really like in the Defender. Sit very high, overlooking the whole situation, but a very comfortable seat, must say. Close this door. Here the armrest is perfect. So this is the correct order, huh? First seat up, then take the headrest out, and then this is flat. But still, there's this big step here, huh? And getting my e-bike in could be tricky. Tying down the suspension, I could even get a KTM free ride in the back of the Defender. This is heavy to press and heavy to open. Also, this side. Power outlet. Can tie stuff down here. Really good. Plastic, a little flimsy here. Looks like you could break it off easily. Defender door opens like this. Inside, also this handle here, so you can open it very well from inside. And then it closes. And this car seats 9 people. This is the difference. Yeah. This is very different here, huh? This is the air conditioning on this car. Here, air conditioning. You can look in between here, huh? plastic, and then there's this is plastic, huh? And this is metal, huh? The door, metal. It says it's aluminium. Can't tell that it's aluminium. I won't go too much into the details of the Grenadier because there are plenty of YouTube videos. Sorry guys, I just have to compare these cars. And the closer you look at it, the more I look at it, the more they just look different, huh? With the Ineos, we didn't get back our loved Defender. It's a modern ride, and even though the shape gets very close to the Defender, it's not the Defender, and never will be. I wonder how many of these are going to be on the road in 20 years, and what people will think of it then. By what they say, it's a real off-roader and not another SUV. But how many of the people who buy this car will really take it off-road? After the test ride, I was really happy to get back into my car and feel the simplicity of it. And I will make a more detailed video just on my Defender. Even though the rear door is bigger on the Ineos, I don't think there's more space than in the Defender. In the winter this car is cold and it doesn't really ride well on snow. In the summer it's too hot inside, and when it rains there's water dripping on my feet. It's quite uncomfortable to ride, it's loud, the clutch is very hard to press, and it has a massive corrosion problem, especially after driving it in the winter in Europe with the salted roads. But isn't it the irrational that makes life so joyful? I don't plan on buying a Grenadier anytime soon, even though it might be the better car. Or not? For sure, I will hang on to my good old diesel. Even if Greta manages to forbid it, I would consider gluing myself to its engine hood in protest.